Hey, this is Jeff with Eternity Shore, and it's about time we gave you the full tour of the Chris Craft 33 Express Cruiser. You step onto a very large teak swim platform. Back here again, the name is still not on the boat. And there you see for the water hookup to marine water. We have two 30 amp cables. This one is for, top one's for air conditioning, and the bottom one is the main 30 volt. We have a brand new transom shower right here in the back. We pull out transom shower. Stepping into the cabin area, I had asked the question about what these were for. These things, if you watch my channel, you know I was asking what they are for. They're runners that go from the entrance all the way to the cabin entrance. So I guess it's to keep the sand and whatnot off of the carpeting. I put the carpeting in just a second. I will put the table in so you can see what that's like. So we have here bench seating with plenty of storage underneath. There's the middle section that just comes out. That's where we have our brushes. Here I have an extra fender for now, and some line and brushes over here. To the port side, there's another compartment here. That's a coupler that takes two 30 amps and converts to a 50 amp. And this is the stern anchor under here. And there's shore power and main circuit breakers here as well, which they probably should reverse this because this is on, and just in case you hit it and you turn it off. We have stereo system with two cup holders here. Right now at home we have the cooler, so the cooler fits under there. Here's where the table is stored, and the legs are just behind there underneath, which I'll put those up in just a second. Moving forward, another compartment, and I put a whole bunch of cleaning supplies in here. It's a little messy right now, but I put most of my cleaning supplies right there. We have a sink. This is just a cold water sink, which it's a water pump going, so got a new faucet for that sink. This cleaned up really nicely. It's a cup holder, and I guess this is for putting, I don't know, hors d'oeuvres, food, whatever. Another cup holder. These are mug holders. Obviously that's why they have this. Now under here typically would be an ice maker. I have that in the garage at home because we're not sure what we're going to do with it. Right now I have garbage there. There's an outlet behind here, and right now I have a Wi-Fi extender. It's cleaned up pretty nicely too. So we've got 4 more cup holders, and here's a little tray inlet in there. Here is the window to the mid-berth cabin, which we'll look at here in a second. There's the Chris Craft, and we have a pretty good view of the center helm station. So here we have arch lights, which is behind me, courtesy lights throughout. These are the navigational lights. This is the engine room lights. Below here we have 2 accessories which are not currently hooked up. This is for the hatch. Here's the windlass. We have for the blowers. This is the battery paralleler. Connects the batteries in event that, in case that one of them is weak. And then here are our keys. Our VHF radio works. We have our bilge pumps forward and aft, manual here. We have our horn. Works nicely. Here we have the drive trim, port and starboard, raising the drives up, and we have 2 trim tabs, port and starboard trim tabs. Here are the throttles for the engines, and we have shifters over here to engage in forward and reverse. Right now they're in neutral, so they go back, reverse, neutral, and forward. I love that action. Here, this is to operate the remote spotlight. You can see it up there, moving back and forth. It goes up and down. And here we have our gauges, which I won't walk through all these gauges. No speedometer, just RPMs, and right now you can see that I got a little bit of a problem with the gauges. This gauge also does not work, the starboard side. The depth finder does not work either. The trim, those are gauges for the trim, those work fine, and this is for the radio. Obviously this is a flip up, so I can be in the seated position, which is really nice. There's plenty of space for a person here and then another one here. This little back swivels, so then you can lean back. This is kind of the view out onto the bow. Big. Again, there's the big bow cushion there, and there's just one hatch forward, which we'll see when we go down below. And we do have a compass center mounted. And the thing that bothers me maybe the most about this boat is previous owners had purchased this is a GPS map. This is a Garmin 741 XS, and they never hooked it up. So it is not hooked up. I have all the wires, and I may be paying someone to do it, or I may do it myself. There's a radar dome up top already there, so I've got all the cables. I'd love to be able to use that. And here's the door down into the cabin, which we'll go there in just a moment. But for now, I want to raise up the hatch and show you some of the engine. Okay, moving on to the engine room, we have twin Volvo Penta 5.7 GI 300 horsepower each engines. Over right here is the freshwater tank, which is about 40 gallons or so, I don't remember, but it's about halfway full right now. We have the battery switch over here. This right here is the diesel fuel tank for the diesel generator that the previous owners purchased right here. And you can see the specs of all this stuff in the notes. 3 batteries. Just purchased a new starter battery because we were having some problems with that. One of the biggest bummers in this boat is that when they put that fuel tank in for the generator, they moved the hot water heater, which is brand new. I have a flashlight shining on it back there. This is the port side aft, so it's all the way behind the port side engine and behind the poop tank, the wastewater tank, which is right here. Behind here is the one of the 2 105-gallon fuel tanks. Behind me is the water pump, which if you've seen previous episodes, I've had a lot of fun with over time. One of the things I want to point out about the engine room is the soundproofing. You can see that in a previous video. I might present a link to it right here. So we did some soundproofing to dampen, and it sounds really good. Now you can see the cockpit now with the table set in place, and how much room we have here. Opens up super nicely. Okay, so that's it here for the cockpit, and I'm gonna take you down below to see everything else. All right, let's head down below into the cabin. Down these steps, and we'll start with the galley and work our way forward. Here is the sink, and I got dirty dishes in there, so I'm just covering that up. A little dish drainer here as well. Nice place for your little sponge. There's a portal here. We have an outlet here on this wall. Here we have our panel, which here's the AC up top. We have our main on, we have our fridge on, I have my battery charger on right now. And on the DC side, we have our cabin lights on. I'll turn these other ones on. And the water pump is on right now. For switching to the generator, right here you would switch for ship service to shore to generator. And the generator would start right here. The next gen generator, you push this button and hold it It is a diesel, again, generator. This is the air conditioning, which I'm going to go ahead and actually flip on right now. I'll turn on the air conditioner there, the panel, and this lights up. This was in a previous episode. It's 83 in here. It's really, really humid. And now the air conditioning unit is on. Over here you have indicators for your freshwater, gray water, which we don't have, and wastewater tank. You'll hear the air conditioning going on right now. The freshwater is about half full, waste is about half full. So we are going to need to empty the waste out pretty soon. Right here is kind of a catch-all for me. I'm using this area really for some various tools, emergency radio and flashlight. There is a shelf up top here that runs all the way up, which is nice for storing certain things. Some of that stuff need to find another spot for it. I do have a screen here for the Bomar bow portal, and that opens up. Obviously there's the mirror. Here is the forward, the V-berth, which is nice and big, plenty big. Let me go back to the galley area. We have a lot of storage in here, so we're using some non-perishables, and I've got some manuals in there now. This is technically a hanging locker, and right now we just have a couple things and items in there in that hanging locker. Below the berth, we have 3 pull-out drawers. That nice to be able to store extra things in there, clothes, and yeah, that's a windbreaker for me. Going back to the galley area, working our way kind of left to right. This is storage here, so we have stuff for coffee, salt and pepper, other things. Right here we have our Black & Decker Space Maker coffee maker. Up top here we have the microwave. Just below the microwave is great space for our cups and our silverware. We have bowls and dishes all back in there. And hidden right here, which is a great counter area, is dual, this is an electric stove. Right below there, we have our fridge, which has various things in it right now, including a freezer up top. And underneath the sink area is this for our pots and our pans right underneath. I have additional cleaning supplies in this little cubby, and then a lot of our utensils that we use for the galley are right there. This is the dinette area. You can see it would seat 4 people very comfortably. We have our outlets over here. I haven't turned those on. There's some space back there for various things. Each of these seats pulls up. Obviously, this table right here drops down, and there's a cushion that goes in here, and you can create a little bit of a berth right in there. There's a television here that we don't really hooked up to anything. We don't really use it. Moving our way back to the head, it's a wet head. So it's a combo shower, toilet, etc. Nice space back in here. I should turn the light on so you can get a little bit of view. So we have for marine toilet paper, we put our skin lotion back here and other things. First aid stuff in here. A nice shelf up here, and then a smaller shelf in here where I have some soap and some shampoo. This unfortunately does not open at that time. There is another outlet right here. If you want to use a hairdryer stuff, which I don't obviously use. And this is a pull-out shower, which pulls out and comes all the way up here. The toilet is a vacuum flush system, so you pull this up to fill it with water, press it down when you're trying to hold it for a long time. Carpet, and then obviously a drain underneath. The sink is additional storage that we are using for other things, a little bit of cleaning supplies, etc. etc. So that is a quick view of the head. Here's the shower curtain that pulls so you don't get water all over the door way out. And then last we have the mid-berth area. Take you back here before I get into everything that you probably know if you've watched any of my videos, that yes, in fact, the toilet pump for the toilet is in here. I've spent too much time in here, more time than I'd like to care to talk about at the moment. Nice area here to store various things. I've had a lot of problems with water, which I think are pretty much solved. Here is one of the air conditioning vents, which this one is actually closed at the moment, so I will open it because I could use some air conditioning. There we go. If you've seen previous videos, you know that this is where the air conditioning unit is stored. The filter works really well. That's a return for the air conditioner. And these are the filler cushions here that I'm going to put in, and I'll show you forms a berth. We have more storage up here. This is where I keep my little shop vac. There's an extra blanket over there, fire extinguishers over there. So kind of, you look up this way and I kind of pin back, you realize this is a fairly big area. And of course we've got the curtain that closes all the way for a little bit of privacy and less light during sleep time. So I will put these cushions in and show you what that looks like. We've got some nice matching pillows. So mid-berth is a nice area. For those of you that are interested in more of the guts of the boat, right under here, if you've seen before any of my other videos, you'll know that this is the sump pump, and here the water comes from the shower into here, and also condensation from the air conditioning that comes into here, and there's a pump right here that will pump this out. So it's one of our, there's also a bilge pump under there just in case there's overflow. And then you see these are the stairs going up. There are the courtesy lights there. I almost forgot about the windlass, which has been kind of tricky, kind of the bane of our existence right now. Under this hatch right here. I'm having a hard time turning and moving. So this is the windlass. We do have a painter that attaches to hold up the plow anchor. This locker is really dirty right now because we were out recently, and in fact you can see the chain is not on it exactly. I gotta fix that. But we have a nice big cleat here for tying the rope and taking the pressure off the windlass. I believe that this, and others can tell me, is for a stand-up board, which we're not using right now. So this is for a stand-up board. And there again you see the nice big sun pad up front. So, so I think I'll end this on the sun pad. It is just absolutely gorgeous today. Let me show you the blue sky real quick. That's what I'm looking at right now. Hope you enjoyed this look at our 2004 Chris Craft 33 Express Cruiser Eternity Shore 2. I'll see you soon. Ciao.